Hey guys, I'm Rick with Techspin. It's been a while since we did any headphone reviews on the channel, so let's do a couple now. So, full disclosure, a long while back I was sponsored by Sony for 2 different pairs of cans for use while DJing in the clubs here. Since these models are still on the market, I thought I'd share my experience and recommendations from my lengthy time with these. And if you have these yourself, or good or bad experiences with other pairs, please do share them in the comments below. So, we'll check out the MDR-V55s and also the MDR-X10s, and they're called the X10s in other places in the world. So you can see if they're worth your money. So let's get to the review right after this. So I've been using the MDR-V55 Sony headphones for over 5 years now. And when I went to grab a new pair of something for a review, quite to my surprise, not only was the same model still available, it's listed as an Amazon's choice. These headphones go for around 60 bucks US on Amazon, though I found another listing for $54 for black. They also have a white version for 80 bucks, 71 on sale, though headphones can get quite dirty, so I'd only purchase them if you're doing streaming or for on-camera work. And honestly, the $20 premium for the white color is too high for my taste. These closed dynamic type on-ear headphones are pretty light at 7.73 ounces or about 220 grams, though when I weighed them, they came in at 235 grams. The weight is pretty light and really well suited for wearing for long periods of time. They could also become more compact, held in by pressure, but they don't really lock in this position. Well, it's not bad like that. Yeah, but they don't lock. These 40mm drivers have neodymium magnets and a 5 to 25,000 Hz range, which is quite wide, so you'll be able to hear every note. The highs are well represented, mids are clear and punchy, and bass is boosted a bit, typical for Sony, but to my ears sound really great. They have 40 ohms impedance with 105 decibels per milliwatt sensitivity, and it makes the most of the power being given to them, and they sound honestly really good. Of course, all headphone reviews are very subjective, and even though I'm partial to Sony, I can be critical of them too. Some points I'll bring up later in the review. Playing music through these and recording by mic doesn't really do them any justice, though my experience with many brands including Behringer, Pioneer, Panasonic, and more, I feel I can give some experience to my opinion. After 5 years of heavy use, the old pair I have has noticeably a blackened logo. Another reason not to get the white version. The logos on the cans are faded, though through a ton of handling and the pad started flaking several months back. So I purchased some replacement pads, and though they're aftermarket and stiffer than the original, they are about equal in functionality, though slightly less in comfort. Then again, I got 2 replacement pairs for about 13 bucks US, so you get what you pay for. As for the plug, the gold-plated connector is still holding up fairly well actually. The 1.2 meter wire itself is not replaceable, and I've accidentally pulled it hard a few times when it's been connected up to a mixer, and it's still okay so far. The top gripe I have with these is creaking, which I will have to find a way to get rid of. And if anyone has any good tips on how to resolve this, please do share them in the comments. I don't necessarily just want to put grease on it, but maybe that's the solution. We'll see. Because of the lightweight and really decent sound reproduction, these Sony 40mm drivers have been my go-to cans for everything from regular club nights to events to daily production for YouTube when it gets really late. But does this sleek style work for you? Let us know. Now, the other pair I was sponsored back in the day is the MDR-XB920s, and as I mentioned, the model number in Asia, similar one is MDR-X10s in North America and elsewhere, going for 120 bucks. These both got pretty beat up with actual heavy club DJ use, as well as gaming and music listening. And you can see this has been heavily used. This on-ear closed dynamic type 50mm neodymium drivers are capable of a 3 to 29,000 Hz range and 24 ohm impedance with 106 decibels a watt for sensitivity, which is pretty good. And these suckers can really handle power from a mixer or a home receiver very loudly, handling up to 3,000 milliwatts, which is very impressive. They also have a locking fold feature, which is very nice. It clicks up, click, and click, becoming quite more compact. And you can see the tape kind of a little bit. I will say that the You can see the paint is kind of rubbed off. I'm not sure how well you can see that on camera, but the paint is kind of rubbed off here. Because whenever I put them on, I always hold them like this and put them on my head like so. And I'm usually monitoring like this way. So there's a lot of handling involved, especially at these 2 points. However, the plastic itself for the hinges and the chrome is held up actually very well. Just a tiny bit of nicks and tiny scratches on it. So all things considered, very, very solid. But you're wondering why the tape, right? So that's because the right hand height adjustment here, right hand, yes, broke at the top after about 2.5 years of heavy use, including several accidental pulls on the cable when they were still around my neck. The inside plastic cracked and it became unstable, and I was pretty sure it was gonna break without any, help on my part. I think though the initial aesthetic of these looks amazing. The build quality of the cheaper V55's height adjustment is actually superior. Please tell us your thoughts on the looks and the design. In fairness, being used for DJing with the over 300 gram weight and constant handling, several hard cable yanks, and especially the twisting force on that corner when monitoring, something was bound to give. But if you're going for looks and power and don't mind changing headphones after a few years, then the $120 MDR-X10s may very well suit your needs. And they do come in a bit over 300 grams, having a locking type disconnecting cable, which I can kind of show you here. This is the extension I found. This is a replacement cable I put together, but this one goes in and turns like so, and it locks. So there we go. It's good that you can disconnect the cable, although for club use, I would have rather had it pulled directly out, because if you have people in your booth and they tug the cable, or you have to respond to something quickly and you're a little far away from the mixer, having it pull out just directly like that could save your headphones. And also this cable is a remote. It's a remote microphone adapter for use with Apple as well as Android phones. It actually works fairly well. I did a test just before I came on to do this show, and there's a button on it. The sound from the microphone was decent, and you can answer calls with this button and also play music with it. And it's also 1.2 meters as well. So I got the MDR-V55s first and the XB920s almost a year later. And the XB920s were certainly an upgrade for sound, though I found getting used to the weight and size took a little time. They did a better job for monitoring though, so they're better for DJ use, I feel. And there's the X10's little brother, the X05s, has 40mm drivers and has almost the exact same specs for the V55s for frequency, resistance, and power handling. And that's just off by 1 point for all the specs. So without cracking them open, we can surmise that these are pretty much the same drivers. However, the looks and Simon Cowell branding will set you back $80 at the minimum. Please take a moment to like this video, and if you like what you see, then please do subscribe and click the bell icon to get notified when I upload new content. So overall, the V55s are certainly worthy of praise for their durability and solid build, and the sound coming from these are excellent, especially considering the price. I'm going to be rating these a 10 on the meter. With their rugged construction and sound reproduction, these are amazing considering the price point they come in at. I will also be awarding these a Techspin Platinum Award for one of the best, cheapest single wire headphones on the market. I really think that you'll like these, and I always try to put my money where my mouth is, so I bought another pair for audio work and general use myself. Now on to the Sony XB920s/X10s. When I first unboxed and tested them back in the day, I was really impressed with the looks and sound quality, rivaling Beats by Dre for fidelity and sound reproduction, no lie. Yes, they were sponsored, but it was one of the most impressive and useful gifts I've received so far. And overall, they have held up very well considering the abuse they've been through. I'm going to be rating these at 10 on the meter also. And I'll give you my reasoning for that. These have been on me for most of my club photos and really stand out being silver. They've also been overdriven on loud nights, dropped, pulled, thrown around a fair amount by accident, sometimes a little on purpose. And where most other headphones would have failed at the hinges or swivel, these have kept going, only finally breaking at the stress point, being twisted constantly and mostly being picked up with one side. If you are a little more gentle with yours, they should last a lot longer than mine did. And with that in mind, I'm also giving them a Techspin Platinum Award for their superb sound quality and reproduction. With decent highs really great mids, and a really strong low end. These are excellent for club use, let alone home use. The only problem I had was finding a replacement cable for the normal stereo cable, though with a long enough plug, you can cheap out and make it work. I'm still really happy with the pair. Now, I don't know if I could give the same rating and recommendation to the little brother, the Sony X05s though. You get the looks with smaller drivers that equal the $60 V55s, but with a $20 markup. Though you may argue that those looks are worth the extra change, but personally, I'm not sure. And for the price, the only good competition would be from Audio-Technica, the M20X model for 50 bucks, though these are circumaural, meaning they fit over the ear completely. These are both on ear. Over ear generally have better sound isolation, though if you work in a warmer room, I think the Sony on ears will be better, and the Sonys have on paper better range, sensitivity, and better power handling too. To be fair, I haven't grabbed a pair for testing of the Audio-Technica, although I have heard really good things about Audio-Technica in general, so if you have a chance, listen to both that and Sony's before buying. Anyways, my recommendations are for great budget headphones. The V55s are a fantastic option. If you're going for great sound fidelity with superior power handling, the X10s are a great find and worthy of the price. If you grab a pair, let me know how they work out for you. And for a direct comparison, I found that the highs on this were a little bit better and the bass was a little less strong. Overall volume I felt was higher with these coming from, say, an MP3 player like or even a phone music. The reason being is that the X10s, they actually take a bit of that power for the bass. So of course they're taking that power away from the whole audio to power the bass a little bit more, so it's not quite as high. That being said, the highs on this, not as high as these. These are produce a bit more treble. These are more kind of a flat response. You may appreciate that. And the bass on these, really nice. They even shake a little bit, not head candy style, but they do actually vibrate a bit, more than these anyways. And that's being even powered from a phone. And finally, thanks to Sony for sponsoring these headphones back in, what, I guess it was 2013? That's crazy. So these have been by my side ever since. So everything I've done and made since then on headphones has been on one of these. Pretty impressive. Just a quick reminder, if you want to connect with us online, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Techspin Review. You can also help by buying through our affiliate links, visiting our wish list on Amazon, or support us directly on Patreon, both links below. So what do you look for in a pair of headphones? What features do you value the most? If you have a pair you love or you found a great deal, please let us know in the comments. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you like this video, or tell us how we can improve for next time. To see more videos like this, then please do subscribe for new content and be sure to click that bell icon to get notified when we put up a new video. We always check the comments and we respond to most, so if you have a question or if we miss something, then please do tell us down below. And let us know what you'd like to see next. Thank you all very much for watching and see you again soon. Bye for now.